And we welcome you to another edition of This Is Wrestling. It is Lee Versage, alongside the one and only Hornsey. Hornsey, good to talk to you twice in 1 week. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Lee. The Hornsey nickname, I don't know if everybody's loving the Hornsey nickname the way I've seen some of the responses. I know you love it. I know Tanner loves it. I know in our immediate group loves it, but I don't know if the listeners love the Hornsey nickname.
Yeah. Well, each and every person listening right now, get your ear up to the speaker and listen real close to what I'm about to say next.
I'm ready, Lee. What are you gonna say?
I don't care if you like it or Zach likes it or the person next to you, your husband, your wife, your kids like it. I don't care. What I care about is I like it. I think it's funny. And I'm going to continue to use it, Hornsey. Okay? So for the good listener, tough crap.
Wow.
You think I cater, Zach, to what the good listener? Like if a JD Rob is listening, you think I care what JD thinks about your nickname? No. There's a reason JD's listening and I'm talking. Is that right?
That's true. It's true.
Okay. Yeah.
It reminds me of
don't try and bring this crap up to me, Zach.
I'm just saying.
Now you got me in a bad mood and we haven't even talked about Money in the Bank yet.
Well,
okay?
I'll make your mood even better because it reminds me of when Kevin Nash would talk about doing stuff. He's like, "Oh, you're not doing it for the 20,000 people in the building. You're doing it for the tens of guys in the locker room in the back. Try and pop them." So it sounds like you're pulling a Kevin Nash here.
No, I'm just telling you, you're trying to bring in that. Well, the important people like it, but I don't know about Joe Fan over here. Yeah, Joe Fan is a reason why you are Joe Fan.
Ouch.
Your name is JD Rob. Sorry. I'm sorry. To
Are
his
you?
wife. Yeah, to his wife. Yeah. Feeling like she has got to live with that guy every day. All right. We got a lot to talk about, you and I think it starts not with Money in the Bank, but we talked about it on our last episode, and now all of a sudden it's happened. Mariah May. NXT, baby. Let's go. Get excited. I'm excited.
You're excited?
Are you?
Are you fired up?
Yes.
Are you? Is the blood pumping? Are you smacking your chest? Or are you like, yes, let's go? We've got maybe Mariah May will be her name. I don't know. They didn't say it on NXT. It could be. Who knows? We don't
need it. Ricky Starks didn't have a name.
That's right. And look at how well it's going for him.
Yeah. Well, they gave JC Mateo a name.
Yeah.
That sucked. Maybe just going nameless is fine.
Since it was Mariah May and she debuted in June, I think the new name for Mariah May should be June Byers. That's the name I think she should go with.
June Byers?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, she debuted in June. So you got to have June involved in the name.
Yeah, I got that part of it.
Yeah. And then
I was able to put that together.
Yeah. I was a little concerned there if you were to adding that one up.
Yeah.
But Byers, I mean, look, you could pay homage to one of the great women's wrestlers of all time in June Byers in the 1950s. So maybe you can maybe that's the plan. You go with June Byers as the evolution of Mariah May. See what I did there?
Folks, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry to JD's wife. I'm sorry for you listening now that you have Zach on tonight. It's Money in the Bank. It does something to him.
Yeah.
I just don't know what exactly. I've tried to figure that out for a long time. I was excited about Mariah May. Now, okay, in all seriousness, do you think that they should change her name significantly?
Significantly, no. Like, they should just keep the name. If they know what's good for them, they should just keep the name as Mariah May, but they can't help themselves. They have to have that sweet, sweet intellectual property that they own. So it's probably going to change to something else. It could be.
But why? Sorry, why couldn't they change it to Mariah May spelled differently and then get the intellectual property for that?
Like what they did with Taz, where they added an extra Z on the end, and that way they could own it.
Who cares if it was Mariah Maye?
Yeah.
Who cares?
See, I would be open to that.
What about just Mariah?
Just
Nothing
Mariah?
else? Yeah.
What? Maybe just May? How about just May?
No.
Just Mariah.
Back, no.
All right. We're shutting that one down.
Yeah, we are. But what if it were like she just comes out and it's Mariah? I'd be okay with that.
I think that would be passable. That would be passable. That'd be fine.
I agree with you. This giving somebody a totally different name is one of the more idiotic things. So I don't get it. I do understand the intellectual property and wanting to monetize it, but you don't have to completely like. Do you think Jeff Cobb's name needed to go to JC Mateo?
No.
Really?
God, no.
Like, it's just so stupid. I hope they don't do that to her.
I will say though, I did predict Mariah May debuting on NXT, so got that one going for me. So
yeah, I think we're in agreement, right? With Stephanie Vercoeur losing, and all of a sudden, I would call it, JC Jade a transitional champion at best.
Yep.
I don't think she's going to keep it for very long. All of a sudden, when they went that route, yes, they needed to get Stephanie Vercoeur up to the main roster, but they didn't have to do it that way. I think they put somebody in there just waiting for Mariah May to take over. And I agree with you. It's good that she's there for a bit, but I think, again, I said this on the last episode, I think she's going to be a star. I think she is a star, and I think she's perfect for the WWE. Now, I have to do this. So, folks, I just need to take a breath. Hold on. Zach, I'm starting to see what you've been telling us all along about Triple H booking.
Oh, finally! It only took you how many ever rants, and however long.
I'm starting to see it where it's like, I don't have a lot of faith right now in what's going on. Very disturbing, actually. So as we get into Money in the Bank coming up on the weekend, on Saturday, I don't have a good feeling. However, I hope for Mariah May June buyers' sake.
Yep.
That's not the case. I hope for Stephanie Vercoeur. I hope for some of the other recent call-ups that's not the case. We talked about in the last episode, people getting all upset about R-Truth and Carlito, two of the older guys that didn't really do a lot in the ring. Now everybody's mad.
Yes.
No, I think you should be mad if they don't use the good wrestlers properly. And right now they're not using all of the good wrestlers properly.
Yep.
So in saying that, Zach, let's get to Money in the Bank. I read the other day that Triple H never participated in a Money in the Bank match, never won, and never was part of a cash in, was never involved in anything to do with Money in the Bank his entire career. Isn't that hilarious to you? I think that's incredible.
Other than the Randy Orton cash in on Daniel Bryan when he was the special guest referee, that's the only time I could think of where he was involved in Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but okay, but as a wrestler, he never
as a wrestler
he never was
right,
in the Money in the he was never in the Money in the Bank match. So obviously he never won it, and he never got cashed in on when he was the champion. So for somebody that books this, I think it's quite clear he didn't love it. So I just want to set that up before we go into this year's Money in the Bank, okay? Doc, we're going to start with, I think, the biggest match of the night, gotta be. It's John Cena and Logan Paul against Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. What's on the line? Nothing.
Get excited.
I don't have anything else to say about it. Like, I don't really know what to say. Those four are wrestling in a match.
Yep. They will all
Holds
wrestle.
will be used. Yeah.
They will all wrestle. They will all be in a ring. They will all interact with each other. It will be a tag match, no stipulations, nothing set up afterwards. But it's happening, Lee. Get excited. I mean, how can you not get excited about the partnership between Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso? I mean, practically a modern day Hulk Hogan. See what I did there? And Macho Man Randy Savage duo, you know, aligning with the Mega Powers thing against the big bad evil John Cena and Logan Paul. I mean, how could you not get fired up for this match on this card?
I don't have one positive thing to say about this match. I want to find something that I'm excited about. And maybe the most exciting thing to me is that with Cena, Cody, and Uso, that Logan Paul has been kind of thrown in the mix, and I hope that he benefits from this. But I can't find a lot else that I'm all that interested in. Both champions in Jey Uso and John Cena are in a tag match with their belts not on the line in a pay-per-view. That doesn't excite me. Can you find something positive to explain to our great listener about this match?
Cody's back. Yeah, I don't got much here. I'm trying. Jey Uso will say yeet, so if you're somebody that likes to say yeet, you'll get to say yeet at Money in the Bank. And yeah, that's kind of my takeaways.
Well, that wasn't really any takeaways, but okay.
Look, I'm trying. You know, I'm trying to. I'm trying to like really dig deep into the mind of Paul Levesque and his intrinsic booking and how he's able to just branch things out and make things connect. And really, you know, everybody's just so much trusts this guy in terms of his booking. So I'm really trying to delve deep and look inward into the mind of Paul Levesque and how he wants to branch out from this story.
Okay, well, with all the champions there, let's talk about the men's Money in the Bank. So I don't have to talk about two matches I don't care about.
Yeah.
Back to back. Let's talk about the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Seth freaking Rollins, LA Knight, El Grande Americano, Penta, Andrade, and Solo Sikoa. I would think that you would be able to tell me who the betting favorite is in this.
I would assume the betting favorite is Seth Rollins in this.
It is.
I see.
Try and give me the order in which it currently is. Doesn't mean that these odds won't change before match time.
Right.
But as they stand right now, Seth Rollins number one at minus 250, which means for those who don't gamble that you would have to put $250 to win 100 if Seth Rollins won. So he is the betting favorite. Give me the next 5 wrestlers in the order before we talk about what you actually think is going to happen.
Okay, interesting. I will say LA Knight is number 2.
Mm-hmm.
I will say Penta is number 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say Solo Sikoa is number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5 is El Grande Americano.
Mm-hmm.
And number 6 is Andrade.
So you did pretty well here, except for one.
Okay.
And the one, which I don't necessarily agree with, it's the betting odds.
Right.
You basically got them in order. You just didn't get El Grande Americano, who is 3rd in the betting.
Okay.
LA Knight number 2, as you said, at plus 200. El Grande Americano plus 300. Then we have Penta at plus 1,000. Solo at plus 1,200. And the longest of long shots, Andrade at plus 3,300. Which means if you bet 100, you would win $3,300. if Andrade happened to win the match.
Mm.
I personally think that the two should be switched here. If I were I do think Seth Rollins is the favorite. I don't know if they're going to go with that, but it is the WWE. They've put a lot into this group, and I think you need to get something that the group can have if they don't have a title. And if Seth Rollins is the leader, he's got to have something. I don't think about this match in particular. I don't even think about like the match with Jey Uso in particular. I think about what your TV looks like with this faction led by Seth Rollins. What does it look like over the next 4 or 5 months with him having the briefcase or without him having the briefcase or a title? And I think those things are very different. So he would be my betting favorite as well for that reason, because what their TV looks like over the next 3 or 4 months is, for me, completely enhanced with Seth Rollins having that Money in the Bank, which he's already cashed in at the very highest level. One of the most famous cash-ins ever at WrestleMania when he ended up stealing the title in the Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar match. So, do you believe Seth Rollins is going to win?
I do. I think Seth is going to get the victory. I think a lot of what you laid out there is kind of my thoughts as well. You kind of need to have something to signify Seth over the next little bit if he's not going to get a championship belt. If only they had 17 belts to choose from to put the belt on Seth Rollins, but I guess they are limited in what they could choose, so they have to go with the Money in the Bank briefcase. So I am going to pick Seth Rollins here. My dark horse will be El Grande Americano, because I feel like they think that this could be a fun thing to do, to put the Money in the Bank briefcase onto El Grande Americano, and the hijinks and the shenanigans that could happen on the weekly TV with El Grande Americano holding the briefcase. And is it Chad Gable that's cashing in, or is it El Grande Americano cashing in? Like that could be the thing there. Again, I'm told that Vince McMahon is not back in the company and that he has nothing to do with the booking of this, but I am throwing this idea out there because I cannot rule it out. Having said all that, I am picking Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I think it's just hard to go away from Seth, and I don't necessarily love picking the betting favorites. The one I think is grossly underpriced, I guess, and you can make a killing if you could actually get it at this point. I think easily the second favorite in this match, easily, is Solo Sikoa. And I don't think it's close. They're the only two I could realistically see winning this.
Mm-hmm.
Solo has been on the outside for a long time now of this bloodline thing. And how does he want to be able to control Jacob? How does he want to be able to control JC Mateo and Jacob Fatu and have, like, he looks like a stooge now because everyone loves Jacob, right?
Yep.
So what do they do for this bloodline to continue on and make it interesting? Well, imagine if Solo Sikoa had the Money in the Bank and he threatened to kind of cash in on Jacob Fatu at any time. I'm not saying that's great booking. I'm just saying that I could see them doing it to make the bloodline and Solo, and they love the bloodline stuff, to make it relevant again. He's been irrelevant for a while. So to me, he's easily number 2. I don't think he's that far behind Seth Rollins. I think what I would do is bet on both of them, knowing that I'm not going to make a lot of money if one of them wins, but if, I don't think the other 4 are winning at all.
Nope.
What do you think about Solo winning and what they could do with it?
I could see it if they wanted to try and reignite some momentum into this bloodline stuff, and they wanted to get Solo back in a prominent position. The way that he's been utilized on TV the last little bit leaves me with not so much confidence that they are looking to do that with him. I think they understand what they have in Solo. So I wouldn't rule it out, but I'm sticking with my Seth Rollins pick. I wouldn't rule them out either putting out the briefcase onto El Grande Americano. I really couldn't.
What is your, I guess, favorite cash in of all time on the men's side?
That's a great question.
Why? I host the program.
A wrestling podcast.
Program.
That's right. That's why you host the program.
Program.
The first one that does come to mind was the Seth Rollins cash in, because it was genuinely shocking when I was watching it at the time.
Yeah,
I remember,
it was cool.
Yeah, it was different. It was something different, and that was one of the big things at the time that I was kind of looking for with WWE, is something different. And that was even after, like, I remember that Reigns and Lesnar match being really good too, even up to that point. So I remember that whole thing being a good setup for that.
And on that night too, Seth Rollins took one of the greatest RKOs of all time.
That's right.
Right? Like, to me, that was probably the best, most significant RKO that I was like, oh my God, wow, I can't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine, that's a big night for him. So he takes that, he loses to Randy Orton that night, and then cashes in maybe the most famous cash in of all time. Do you have another favorite? Like, not the most famous, but do you have other ones that were kind of significant to you?
Well, it's hard to believe now, but at the time, I was such a big Dolph Ziggler guy in the early 2010s.
Yep.
And he held on to that Money in the Bank briefcase forever. Ever and ever and ever. I was waiting for him to cash in. And then finally, the night after Mania, he cashes in on Alberto Del Rio and finally becomes the World Heavyweight Champion. Now, the title reign itself was nothing to write home about because he got injured during that point, and was very unfortunate. But at the time, I was such a big Dolph Ziggler guy. So being able to see him win the title finally after how long it took to get to that point, they were really building it up. That is another one that sticks in my mind in terms of cash-ins that have stuck with me. Again, funny to think of now, because now I don't really have that strong of opinion about Dolph Ziggler anymore. But the other one I think of as well is was Orton's cash in on Daniel Bryan. With, funny enough, Triple H helping out with the cash in as well, and that started the Authority figure storyline. And I remember thinking, oh, this could be interesting and different. And then that Authority storyline went on what felt like 17,000 years. But at the time, I remember thinking, oh, this is quite significant. And I was a big Daniel Bryan guy. I still am, obviously, with Bryan Danielson. And being disheartened, but seeing the way that they were kind of progressing along with that story, culminating with Mania at WrestleMania 30, I thought was also well done. So, not what they wanted to do, because Punk had walked out at that point, and clearly they wanted to go in a different direction. But they were able to stick the landing to the end, probably through kicking and screaming to get to the finish line. But they did cross the finish line. So,
I think for me, I was a big Edge guy, and when he cashed in on Cena after the Elimination Chamber and came out with Lita, and the Rated R Superstar was at its height at that point, so that was a big one for me. Can't remember the year. It feels like forever ago. 20 years ago, probably.
I think it was like 05, yeah.
Yeah. And then I can't believe you didn't bring up Otis. I thought that one was going to be... Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned Otis. I was talking about that Money in the Bank ladder match at work today with some other wrestling fans that I work with. And I was like, I remember, I can listen back to the audio at that time. I was not the biggest fan of that match. And
I remember that.
Yeah, that was when I was really getting into my anti-cinematic match phase and being like, what are we doing here, guys?
Well, but you weren't wrong. It's not like he went
it was
on
awful.
to do... But he didn't go on to do anything with it.
No, he did not.
So I think the other one for me is my guy, The Miz.
I was wondering if you were going to bring up the Miz. If that was
Oh
in there.
yeah, putting the world's heavyweight championship on The Miz.
Yeah.
When he beat Randy Orton, I was pumped about that.
Fist pumping. Anyway. You were saying this is awesome. All that.
Oh, everything was awesome in my world at that point. Okay,
I noticed a lack of Jack Swagger winning the Money in the Bank briefcase.
I didn't hear you say Damian Priest either.
Damian Priest, yes.
Okay. Cashing in,
That's
winning. Like I don't remember you bringing that up, but okay.
Yeah, no Damian Priest for me on that one.
Sure it's there at some point. Anyway, let's move on to Becky Lynch winning the Intercontinental title. I don't really have much more to say against Lyra Valkyria. Am I saying it right?
You are saying it correctly, yes.
Valkyria?
Valkyria. There you go.
Lyra Valkyria.
We got that one down. Eventually we'll get you to say Konosuke Takeshita correctly.
Konosuke Takeshita.
We'll get that one eventually. But...
I couldn't say Alex Rodriguez for the life of me when I was doing I just could not say it. And it was a bit like every time I would bring it up. That's kind of my Konosuke Takeshita.
Yeah. I've just accepted it at this point. It's like, you know what? That's just part of the show.
Some things is just part of the show.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't fight it. I'll just let this one go. Even though the urge is strong every time, it's like, you know what? I'm not going to.
See, and this, folks, this is why he is the co-host, because he puts up with my crap and he doesn't. He's like, that's just him. It's fine. It's fine. And he tells himself in his mind, it's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Don't say anything. It's fine.
Everything's gonna be fine at the end.
Yeah.
I like how I'll be like Valkyria Lee. It's Lyra Valkyria. But Konosuke Takeshi, I'm like, okay, look, fine. That's okay. Fine. Yeah.
My point is always, you know who I'm talking about. If you do, then shut the bleep up. And if you don't, then you're a loser. Okay? That's it.
Fired up today, Lee Versage.
I am.
You are fired up.
Not about this match.
No, neither am I.
So they didn't have a very good match the first time. Now they're going to go out there again, and there's zero chance that Becky Lynch loses. Correct?
Well, think about the stipulation here, Lee. It's the last chance that she could challenge for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I mean, I know you're sitting back in your chairs and thinking to yourself, "Oh my God, is this it?
What's she gonna do?
Oh my God, how is she gonna live with herself if she can't challenge for the Women's Intercontinental Belt anymore after this? Oh my Lord! I mean, this is a high stakes matchup here, Lee. Last chance. They don't give out chances like candy in the WWE at all. So, I mean, this is a high stakes matchup. I mean, I think she has to win here, Lee. She's got to win. It's her last chance. I can't go against the stipulation. I think she's got to get the victory here.
Folks, that is sarcasm. But was he telling the truth? Yes. So, yeah, I'm hoping that this isn't abysmal. That's what I'm hoping to watch this match and go, okay, that wasn't terrible.
Yeah. I remember the match itself being fine. It was the finish that absolutely drove me insane.
Oh, it was so stupid.
It's like, are we trying to put anybody over? Like, yeah, that's what I remember from that match.
Finger poke of doom.
Yes.
Came back into my mind. Like,
yeah, she gets the victory and then immediately gets beat up afterwards, so it doesn't matter. It nullifies the victory over Becky Lynch. She
beat Becky Lynch while rubbing her eye because she was more concerned about her eye.
Yes.
But still had the ability to pin Becky Lynch.
Which commentary did not pick up on that finish, I remember.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, what's going on? She got her eye poked. Come on. Like, I'm seeing this here too. Like, anyways. That was previous show. People could go back to that episode to hear our thoughts about that.
So Becky Lynch is going to win the Intercontinental title because it is her last chance.
That's right.
Let's get to the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which has the Dark Angel, Stephanie Vacour, who's in the match. Alexa Bliss, Julia, Roxanne Perez, Naomi, and Rhea Ripley. a pretty decent group here. If it doesn't have Charlotte Flair in it, I'm like, okay, this, like, all of this group, maybe except for one for me, all of this group are better than both Lyra, Valkyria, and Becky Lynch. So I have some hopes for this one. Go ahead, Zach, 1 through 6 in order. You name me. I'm not going to tell you who's favored, who's not, where the people are. You tell me who the betting favorites are, 1 to 6.
Okay. You see, this one I feel is a little bit more unpredictable, so I'm probably going to get none of it correct, which would be par for the course for me. But
Well, you just did very well in the last one.
That's true, but that one was like very, very predictable. Like even
Okay.
I could predict that. Like if I could predict that, you got a very bad predictable match. This one's a little bit more unpredictable. I'll say number one. Oh,
before you start,
yeah,
I'm just going to tell you that right now, the person in the number 1 position is a bigger favorite than Seth Rollins.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's surprising to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Just wanted to throw that in there.
Okay. I'm debating between two names for number 1.
All right, 1 through 6, go ahead.
All right. I'll say number 1, Stephanie Vakir.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say number 2, Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say number 3, Julia.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say number 4, Roxanne Perez.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, Alexa Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
And number 6, poor Naomi at number 6.
Okay. Folks, I would like you to go back about 45 seconds, rewind the tape, and whatever explanation that Zach said about where he's going to go with this, just mark it down and trust him the first time he talks. He is so far away on this one. It's like he's never watched wrestling in his entire life.
See, I'm telling you, I know. It's unbelievable.
Minus 280. So $280 to win 100. Naomi, your favorite.
What?
Yep.
What? Naomi's the favorite?
The favorite.
Why? Why is she the favorite? What?
I'm just telling you that Naomi is the bigger betting favorite than Seth Rollins.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Fine, go ahead. Name the other lists.
Have you watched the Jade Cargill Naomi battle on Twitter?
On Twitter, I have seen that. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
just riveting TV. Very riveting.
I think you had this one maybe sort of correct.
I said number 2 is Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, so number 2 is Rhea Ripley.
Okay, she was the one I was debating on maybe making number 1.
So, but she's plus 300, but she is in the number 2 spot. And there are 2 clear favorites because even Rhea Ripley bet 100 to win 300 more.
Okay.
Is the second favorite. Everyone else is like a dark horse.
Okay.
Roxanne Perez, number 3 at plus 650. Stephanie Vacour, number 4 at plus 900. Alexa Bliss plus 950 and Julia plus 1,000. So in these odds, Perez, Vacour, Bliss, Julia, no chance. Like literally 6.5, 9, 9.5, and 10 to 1. I just want to know how you feel about Naomi being this big of a betting favorite.
I think the wrestling business has passed me by. I think I should just call it quits.
Yep. We need you to keep me in line, not because of your predictions, because clearly that's.
Yeah, analyzer, not a predictor, as we've established on this show. I could tell you when Mariah May is going to show up on where she's going to show up, but I clearly cannot predict who's going to win the women's Money in the Bank.
No, that doesn't mean Naomi's going to win. It just means that's where the betting. I think there's a lot of people that see this, in all seriousness, a lot of people that see the battle on social media that's gone on for a long time. The Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi, part of the group. Naomi has been around a very, very long time. She's somebody that has been around the group and been around there as I'm gonna call it a day oneer because people might not get that, but you know what I'm saying. And a lot of people feel like it's her time to get up and be a real star. I don't agree with that.
She's been in the industry 11 years. Like,
I know.
What else do you need to see from Naomi? Like, what else? I know what I'm getting with her. Okay. You've got Roxanne Perez, you've got Stephanie McKeer, you got Julia, you've got literally 3 options to choose something new here.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna go with Naomi as your betting favorite?
Okay, so let's go with what Zach McGibbon, the Predictriver. Is he still the champion? My God.
No, he's no longer the champion. That is Pastor Josiah that is our champion.
Yeah. Gone from one schlep to another. Holy cow.
Wow. I still chat with Predictriver. Let me tell you, the puns are strong. He has earned the Predictriver nickname. Let me tell you.
I don't know what that means other than it sounds bad. He's earned the Predictriver name.
Yes.
Okay.
He has earned it. Very, very a resounding earning of the Predictriver nickname.
Look, I think he's a smart guy.
He is a very smart guy, yes.
In fact, if him and Pastor Josiah were in the ring, I'd throw them both out and just take the championship.
After you held onto the bottom rope, right, in the elimination, the Royal Rumble, you're holding onto that bottom rope, clutching onto it, waiting.
It'd be the best. Okay, so I'll tell you, so I agree with you in the fact that there's a chance here to do something with somebody, whether it's Stephanie McCour, whether it's Julia, whether it's Roxanne Perez. I wouldn't hate it on Alexa Bliss. I'm just a personal fan of hers.
Mm-hmm.
I think the people they should not put it on are the 2 favorites. Like, putting it on Rhea Ripley again makes no sense to me. Like, that, first of all, they give out, you're alluding to it, they give out title matches like chocolate bars. Like, you just don't need to do anything to earn a title match. And then, so she can just get one at any time, and she can win at any time. You don't need her to have a briefcase to be walking around threatening people to, like, it makes 0 sense to put it on her. Naomi, I just don't want to watch. So, but I do fear that they're gonna put it on her. I personally would put it on Roxanne Perez, and I think she's earned enough by being there. She's a little bit slighter. I think she's got a little bit of charisma to her where she doesn't have to be like the big mean, I'm threatening you every single week on television, but I think she could pull it off, and I think it would really help her. I don't know that Stephanie McGill or Julia need a lot of help. They're just going so fast right now. Do they need that kind of help? They both don't talk a lot, right? And I think for Money in the Bank, you do need somebody that can really sell the thing. It's you mentioned Otis before. He couldn't sell it. I think if you have it, you really got to sell that you're going to be the next person. And I don't see Stephanie McGill or Julia being able to do that. I mean, Alexa Bliss could do that. I would put it on any of the 4 that are not favored to win before I put it on the 2 that kind of are. But Naomi's a big favorite. We'll see.
I'm just scrolling through social media and I'm searching Naomi WWE, and I'm trying to get an idea of why. Just why. Like, just why. And one of the first tweets I see, I will not name this user, but I will just say that is a verified account that I've seen them post before. And I see a video of Naomi cutting the promo on SmackDown, and it says, "Just give Naomi the Emmy now." So, get fired up. So, it sounds like she's acting very well. And so that means if you can act very well, that you deserve an opportunity to hold the Money in the Bank briefcase for the Women's Championship. Either Women's Championship. So, get excited.
Why I'm not going to get excited is the fact that the reason she is favored is because it carries out on television a lot of her, whether it's Bianca, whether it's Jade, yeah, and I keep, you keep seeing all these people. Oh, she's killing it. She's doing such a great job. Like, not for me, but what you can do with her with that in going through with a couple other people that don't have belts right now, and then probably pretty quickly you put one on her. And it ends up involving a whole lot of people. And that's the reason why theoretically I could see it. It would not be my choice.
No. Oh, Lord.
Seth Rollins, Naomi, Becky Lynch, and probably we didn't even say who we thought would win the tag team match. I'll say that Cody and Uso will win because there's no reason for them not to win.
Mm-hmm.
And if Becky's going to win as a heel and Naomi's going to win as a heel and Seth Rollins is going to win as a heel, Money in the Bank's probably better on heels. Would you say that?
I would agree with that. Yes.
Yeah. So it tells me that I understand why the betting odds are what they are, and I don't think there's any way Becky Lynch is losing. So that means, are you going to go through this entire card with no faces winning? No chance to cheer somebody at the end? I'll say no. So that's the reason why I'm going to pick Cody and Jey Uso.
Yeah. I'll follow in line with that. Cody and Uso getting the victory in that tag match.
But it's going to be the night of Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, right? The married couple off screen. I still think they should do something on screen, but you have 3 of the 4 heels winning, and I'm hoping to not be bored stiff during this pay-per-view.
Is there any more matches that we have to get through on this Money in the Bank show? I mean, we've gone through 4. Isn't there anything else? Or
did I miss something, Zach?
No, Lee, you have not missed anything. It's a 4-match card that we're having on Money in the Bank. We're gonna get like a 2-match card in the future. Like I'm sure of it at some point. Like we got the 6. Some shows it's 6. This show, other shows been 5. We've gotten 4.
The best you could probably do is you could get down to 3 at the Rumble.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do both Rumbles and like 1 title match, you probably could get down to that.
Lee, I have a question.
Yep.
Do wrestling fans like wrestling?
Yes.
They do?
They do.
Do they like the in-ring? Do they like watching the wrestling part of pro wrestling?
I believe so.
I would hope so. Why are we getting a 4-match card then?
Did you see that front row at Money in the Bank? I believe somebody paid $6,000.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, $6,000, and you could get a. No, you didn't know what kind of game it was going to be, and they were in the end zone. But you could get a first row seat at the Super Bowl for $1,000 this year.
Really?
Yeah, in the end zones.
Yeah.
So like probably can't see much down the end of the field. I wouldn't consider those the best seats, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yep.
$1,000 to go watch your team in the Super Bowl in the first row, or first row for the 4-match Money in the Bank card. I know what I'm picking.
Same here.
All right. I know we're down on WWE, but it's hard not to be right now.
Yeah.
So apologize for that, folks. But we will watch the card. There will be wrestling. There will be holds.
Yeah.
And Zach will analyze those holds.
Yeah.
He will not use the predictriver to predict matches anymore. He will just analyze them afterwards, and he's really good at it, folks.
Yeah. I'm an analyzer, not a predictor.
Right? I kind of want Naomi to win just because you picked her last.
Oh my! If she wins, like, Will more people be on my side on the Triple H deal and how he's a bad booker, an overrated booker?
I'm going to put all my cards on the table and say I'm going to watch Money in the Bank and decide if Triple H is a good booker or not.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
Oh, man. If Naomi wins, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like,
if it's a great show, then he's a great booker. If it's a bad show, then he's a bad booker. I'm putting all my chips into the middle and saying, is he a good booker or not? Well, I'm going to watch Money in the Bank.
We're going to watch Money in the Bank.
And I'm going to decide.
Oh, get excited.
Coming up, Saturday night, June the 7th, Money in the Bank 2025. Zach, always fun talking to you. And I'm sure, depending on how good or bad it is, like we might be back Saturday night late or like 5 a.m. Sunday morning to review this. I mean, it's going to be that critical to get a show out.
Yeah. I will text you like how I'm feeling at the end of the show.
Yep.
And I will let you know unfiltered if on some of the results of these matches.
Excellent.
And there might be a few words about Triple H at the end of the show. Who knows?
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah. Good booker. You'll be thrilled with the show and you'll say he's a great booker.
Oh yeah. What a great booker that Paul Levesque is, giving us a Naomi as a favorite for the Money in the Bank, despite having three prospective wrestlers.
He didn't put the money down on the betting favorite. So let's give him some credit here. Okay, he didn't do that. When he makes her win, then yes, he will have done it. But we'll see how it all goes. Hopefully
just remember, for all you We Want Truth people that have been going and went on Raw and chanted We Want Truth, and then 30 seconds later chanted This is awesome in a professional wrestling match. I want you all to know that Triple H is the one that makes the decisions on the roster and the talent, and if they decide to move forward, and if he wants to continue using them. So please remember, if you are frustrated about R-Truth, you know, obviously the standards are very different. I can't understand, but you know, the company that is currently having a sex trafficking lawsuit and a Ring Boys lawsuit, that's the one that doesn't get the uproar. But by God, R-Truth getting cut in a lower mid-card comedy guy didn't get his contract renewed, and we got to go to the shows and chant We Want Truth, and then 20 seconds later chant This is awesome in a professional wrestling match. I mean, wrestling's passed me by, Lee.
No, Zach, come on. It's not. You're just in a bit of a low. We're all in a bit of a low, but I do think that there are some good things here. And what if we come out and what if we come out on the women's side and Stephanie Booker does win?
Then I might be a happier man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What if I was gonna say LA Knight, but I hate him.
Nope. Try again on that one.
Just go through some of the people. What if Penta wins?
That'd be fun. I'd be okay with that.
So what if Penta and Stephanie Booker are your winners?
That would be nice. That would be nice. I'd be a little bit. I'd be nicer to Paul Levesque.
That's right.
Yeah.
What if Logan Paul gets the pinfall victory? And they put Logan Paul up to the top. Like, you never know what's going to happen.
You never know. That's true. You never know. I'm fairly confident with Paul Levesque that I know what I'm going to get. But who knows? Maybe he might shock me. Maybe he's listening in right now. He's tired of me like ragging on him. He's like, oh, this Zach McGibbon guy, I'll book a hell of a show just to spite Zach McGibbon.
That didn't sound like Vince McMahon at all.
No. Goddamn, pal. We gotta put Cena with the belt. That's good business.
For Hornsey, Zach McGibbon, he's fired up now at the end on Versage. Thanks for listening to our Money in the Bank preview here on This Is Wrestling.